Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to another Pro Evolution Soccer 2020 tutorial with your host SpoonyPizzas. Today we're looking at high speed dribbling. Now this isn't just going to help you beat a man, it's going to help you beat a man or two, plus win some free kicks as well. So stay tuned on how to get the best out of these high speed dribbles and what makes them so effective. So the key to a successful high speed dribble is to get your player up to speed as quickly as possible. Now you may have to take 2 or 3 touches, it depends on the acceleration and speed of that player. But you can see here I took 3 touches to get up to speed before slowing down and then cutting inside and scoring. So to get those 2 or 3 touches, you are going to need to drive into space. So don't go near defenders until you're ready to sort of high speed pass them. So you're going to see here that I'll wait for the defender to be drawn in before actioning my move. So running fast, slow down, cut inside, move quickly, cut inside and get the shot off. So it's all about using the speed and slowness to suddenly burst past the player, drive at the defense. Here I do a sort of double touch to sort of draw that defender out. I realized he wasn't going to bite at the first occasion. We'll go back and look at that in a second. So here you're seeing me drive into that empty space, bursting past the fullback, driving at those centre backs, drawing one towards me, and then I'm going to show you how to hold the opposition off just like I did here, and I'll be breaking that down for you as well. And I'll also be covering off these high speed turns as well, allowing me to cut in and get a shot in. And then we'll be putting it all together to look at how we can use the high speed dribble and the close control tutorial that I showed you the other day to sort of produce things like this, where we're just sort of understanding how both of these can work together in order to sort of get through the defence and get a shot in. All of the gameplay you've seen between Manchester United and Arsenal were from one game, so you can sort of see how overpowered it is. And this was on superstar difficulty, apart from the Valencia against Sevilla game, which was on legend difficulty. It's a really effective way of attacking because the passing and first touch does make it harder to build attacks, so sort of carrying the ball will give you greater rewards. So let's break this first clip down. So look at my left stick, I'm pointing towards the defender, I'm trying to draw him in, and as soon as I get nice and close you can see my left stick is suddenly almost 180 degrees. It's going to allow me to turn sharply, and then I'm applying the super cancel, so that's a sprint and special controls held down together, and look at my left analog stick, that's allowing me to do this sort of sharp turn. Look at the defender's body position, that's exactly what you want. Now the next important thing is to get up to full speed, so you're seeing me take 3 touches here with the ball at full speed. Now the crucial thing here and the hardest thing to learn is knowing when the cursor has switched for the opponent. Obviously they don't have a cursor, but we have got a telltale sign on this guy because he's got a yellow card on his head, so it made it a little bit easier to know when the AI had switched player. Now look at my controller, when you're about 6 yards away from the defender, you want to release the sprint. Now look at the defender's positioning, the way he's facing, and look at my left analog stick, and I'm holding sprint down. So the left analog stick is pointing 180 degrees from the way that defender's facing. This will create a degree of separation. Now from this position I need to make sure I release my sprint, take a touch to turn, and then finish. The next goal is pretty much identical. I've slowed this down to half speed, so you can sort of see that I'm using those 3 touches to get up to speed, then releasing the sprint, cutting inside, except there's one big difference. This time the defender's a lot closer to me and his hands are going to come out, and what's going to happen is he's going to try and jostle for the ball. And look at my controller, I've got super cancel held down, and this is why I hold super cancel, because when at high speeds it stops the defender muscling you off the ball, allowing you to burst past him. Now in this next example we're going to be wrong footing our defender, once again taking those 3 touches to get up to speed. So notice that I'm driving infield now, and the reason for this is because I'm manipulating the fullback's body position and shape, and this is going to allow me to wrong foot him and then cut inside with a burst of pace. Then you're going to see me use super cancel because I'm jostling with the defender, so holding sprint and special controls together as you see in there to burst through. So here's R1 Basaka running at full speed. It's at this point we release the sprint because we're 6 yards away. We're then going to advance and then apply the sprint at this point here. And then you can see there's a bit of jostling, so you can see me applying the super cancel. Now we're going to draw the next defender in, and it's important to point that left stick towards the defender. That allows you to go either way. And then I'm just going to cut inside, apply the sprint and burst inside before getting the shot off. In this next clip I actually mistime the body feint, which is in the most effective skill tutorial on my channel. So you can see why I mistimed the body feint. So the defender closest to me actually drops back in to deal with Rashford, and the defender that's coming out with the blue line is actually behind, so that sort of breaks my timing. But as soon as I see him come out, I'm ready to adjust that left stick, apply the sprint, cut inside and get the shot off. So in this clip, again, picking up speed, driving past the fullback, and I want you to focus on David Luiz, who I've highlighted here. Just watch what happens to him as I drive at him. What I'm doing is waiting for him to make the move. I'm waiting to see which way I can get his body to turn, and there. The second he makes that mistake, allows me to get in. But again, watch the super cancel here because I'm fighting him off. Now I'm going to show you a high speed turn, so it's important to get your speed up by holding the sprint button. And at this point here, you can see I've released the sprint. Then I release my left analog stick and then reapply the sprint plus the direction that I want to move the ball. In this next clip with Martial, I'm going to slow it right down because there's so much you can learn here. So face up the defender, release the left analog stick, apply the left analog stick and sprint to burst past that first defender. Apply the super cancel there just because I thought I might get into a bit of a jostle. Here I double tap sprint and then change the direction with my left analog stick to burst inside. That's really important. Here applying the super cancel, again fighting that defender off. Then I'm going to apply the sprint, but now I'm going to release the sprint because I'm going to use that close control which I showed you in my last tutorial, and then I've won the free kick by applying sprint. So this clip here is all about the close control, which I talked about in my last tutorial, where you're just sort of walking with the ball, using that shield and then exiting out with the sprint. And again, changing that direction very sharply, using that high speed turn to cut inside the defender and score. So this last clip is all about combining the high speed sprint and the close control. So I've got my speed up, I'm within 6 yards of the nearest defender. I'm going to release the sprint and cut inside. Then I've quickly adjusted my left stick whilst applying sprint to cut inside that defender. Then the defender is going to try and come in and muscle Dan James off the ball. So that's why you're seeing me apply the super cancel here as the two players make contact. So it quickly came to light that this defender simply wasn't going to go away. He's going to constantly harass Dan James across the pitch. So I just turn away, and what I'm doing here is just using the close control tutorial where I just release the left analog stick just to get him behind. So I'm shielding the ball. That allows me to turn and sprint out, release the sprint, apply the sprint for the high speed turn to cut inside. So you can use it in various places on the field, the high speed turn. Doesn't necessarily have to be on the wing cutting inside. A lot of people make the mistake of holding the left analog stick in like a full lock position. What I would recommend doing is just caressing the left analog stick. You watch how smooth my left analog stick movement is here. And if you can caress your left stick instead of putting it in a full lock position, you're going to really improve your dribbling. And then watch how I explode out past David Luiz. I can't stress enough how important it is to take those 2, 3, 4 touches depending on the player's acceleration and speed. Just hold the sprint button down and just burst into space. Don't go towards the defender, just go away, get really close to the byline if you have to, or whatever you have to do to get into that space. It's so important that you get that speed up first. That's what makes it hard for the defender to turn. So that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gents. And if you have any questions, then drop a comment below. I'll be sure to answer those. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. It would be a massive help to me. And also, if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you disliked the video, then give it a good old thumbs down. Thanks a lot, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Stay inside, stay safe, and take care. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.